Hey there, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to purchase the right keyboard for you, and what that means is the keyboard that best fits your needs. If you're a complete beginner, the factors that matter the most are 1, the number of keys, and 2, the weight of the keys. So with number of keys, you can have 61, 76, or 88 keys. 88 keys is what a real piano has. With a beginning keyboard, you want to go either 76 or 88. 61 is a little too low. In terms of the weight of the keys, you have no weight, semi-weighted, or weighted. Weighted means it feels like a real piano. So when you play the note on the keyboard, it's going to have a weight to it. Semi-weighted has less weight, so it's not going to feel quite like a piano. And no weight is not going to feel like a piano at all. So if you're a complete beginner, you definitely want to get weighted because you want to practice on something that feels like a piano so you can do a lot of things with your technique. However, if it's out of your price range, because weighted keyboards are going to cost more, you can get away with semi-weighted. Now, there are other factors you can consider, but matter a lot less for a beginner. So as you see on the chart here, you have beginner on the left, and then we have all our different columns. So you have number of keys, 76 or 88, like we talked about. You have key weight, which is weighted. And then you have speakers. So with speakers on a keyboard, you can have internal. Speakers are on the keyboard itself, versus external, which means that you have to plug in your keyboard into a speaker system or into external speakers. Keyboards without speakers are less heavy, but keyboards with internal speakers are a lot more convenient. You don't have to worry about plugging your keyboard into things. Next is weight, so how much it weighs. So if this is just going to be at your house, it doesn't really matter how much it weighs. And then next is sounds. So if you're a beginner and you just want to learn how to play the piano, you only really need the grand piano sound. You don't need organ, electric piano. All you really need is grand piano because you just want to get better. Okay, and then the last factor are ports. And ports just means all the connections in the back of your keyboard. And as a beginner, there's not really connections that you need. Now, there are a lot of brands and keyboards that are out there, so if you're a beginner and you're watching this, I'll list what I think are the best beginning keyboards in the description below. Now, if you're buying a keyboard to perform live, then you're going to have different needs. So you're probably going to want something very light, so 76 keys, semi-weighted, with external speakers, not internal speakers. All those things contribute to lightness. Additionally, you're going to want lots of different sounds. Also, you're going to want the necessary ports. And so the last two columns there we're going to get into now. So first, sounds. So the standard sounds you're going to need as a keyboardist are grand piano, obviously, then electric piano like Rhodes or the Wurlitzer sound, and this electric piano sound is really good for pop, soul, R&B. Organ is great for church music. Clavinet is used in funk. And then lastly, if you're playing a lot of pop and electronic music, you might want a synthesizer sound. So these are the standard sounds you're going to need as a keyboardist. Now, in addition to sound, certain keyboards will also have effects like tremolo, pan, wah-wah, chorus, reverb, delay. You can stack this effect on top of your sound to make it sound different. Here's an example of a great live keyboard, also called stage keyboards. As you can see on the left, you have the sound dashboard, and then on the right, you have the effects. However, it's important to note that you don't really need sounds and effects if you're running a keyboard through your laptop. So what you could do is have a normal keyboard, plug it into your laptop. On the laptop, create all the sounds and effects, and then connect your laptop to the speakers. And then all the sounds from your laptops are going through the speakers. However, for a lot of professional keyboardists, it's a lot easier to have all of the sound and effects buttons on the keyboard itself. If you want to perform live, another important feature you're going to need are the right ports, like we've talked about, right? So ports will look like this. So this is the back of a real keyboard, and these are the standard ports that you're going to see on most keyboards. So starting on the left, we have the pedals, and the most common and most used pedal is the sustain pedal. Then next, we have USB, MIDI out, and MIDI in. All of these have the same function. They all connect into your computer. So for the USB cable, you need the AB USB cable. For the MIDI terminal, you need the MIDI terminal to the USB. And they connect into your computer so you can record what you're playing on the piano into MIDI data, which your computer captures. You can also play on the piano and have the sound come out of your computer. And then the next most standard ports are right out, left out, /mono. So those are the ports that plug into your sound system, whether it's external speakers or the sound system of the venue. And then lastly, we have headphones, which goes into your headphones. But these are the most standard ports you're going to see on any keyboard, what you have right here. Now, if you're buying a keyboard to do studio work in production, then you're going to have a different set of requirements. You're basically using your keyboard as a controller to create MIDI information. So what you want are 88 keys because you never know what you're going to need. The weight doesn't really matter, and the sounds and the speakers don't matter because you're plugging your keyboard into your audio interface, which goes to your computer or directly into your computer. The weight doesn't matter because it's just sitting in your studio, and the ports that you need are the ones that allow you to plug your keyboard into your computer. Lastly, when buying a keyboard, you have to choose a brand, and the biggest and most established brands for keyboards are Yamaha, Roland, Korg, and Casio. Those are sort of like the big four. Some other great brands include Nord, Kurzweil, Kawai, Alesis, Akai, and Studio Logic. And in addition to these brands, there are also a lot of other brands out there. All right, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching this video. Like I said, there's a lot of brands and keyboards that are out there, so I'll list all my top recommended keyboards in the description below. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.